If you're anything like me, when you graduated dental school, you probably thought you knew enough to be a good dentist, only to realize in a couple years that you didn't know anything at all. This was my case, and it really messed with my head, and it made me doubt my career choice, and I started looking for a way out. But I couldn't quit, and I had to find a way to make things work, and luckily I did, because my work went from looking like this to now this. And my outlook on my career did a whole 180. So in this video, I like to share a part of my story and maybe some advice for all you early career imposters. I can't promise it'll all be a silver bullet, but it certainly helped me and hopefully can also help you. So back in 2020, I wrote a guest blog post on the Perio Pocket about the state of my career. To summarize, I had been out of school for only a couple years and I started already burning out of being a dentist. I wasn't happy with the quality of my work, and I was starting to see adhesive failures and was getting post-op sensitivity in my patients. And the worst part was explaining to my patients that sometimes these things just happen, mainly because I didn't have a better explanation as to why they were having these issues. The last part was a bit of a light bulb moment for me, because I didn't actually know what was wrong. And admitting that to myself, I realized I needed to figure out what I didn't know for things to get better. As dentists, we need to take continuing education courses in order to maintain our license. Now, I had resisted taking expensive CE. By expensive, I mean several thousands of dollars for a 2 to 3 day class. I mean, I'm a millennial dentist. I am already in a lot of student loan debt because of dental school. But I decided to go ahead and try to find anything that would help me figure out my clinical shortcomings. So I signed up for a few courses, a few expensive courses, related to occlusion and biomedic dentistry. These courses just changed the outlook I had on my career. They helped me answer so many questions that I had, and most importantly, I gained the confidence in my ability to diagnose and treat with predictable outcomes. This leads me to the first point I want to make here. Do not be afraid to invest in yourself. This can honestly apply to anyone, dentist or not. The difference in CE courses I took that were free or really cheap were just miles away from the quality of courses where I spent more. If I've learned anything these past few years of learning as much as I can about dentistry, it's that anything really worth learning is usually worth paying for. I realize in a day of large student debt and an unpredictable economy that this is not always the easiest. But I think everyone has an idea of their own tolerance for spending, and I am merely suggesting that investing in yourself and your education should be higher up on the list because it can pay dividends down the line. Having said that, taking a course is not always enough to solve all your problems. These courses are usually a weekend long and just cram in a lot of information in a short amount of time, which can be hard to digest and even harder to implement. Learning is a process and it takes time. How much time can depend on the person and the circumstance. But if you have someone who can mentor you, it can make the experience just a lot smoother. This is the second point I want to make. Find a mentor. Unfortunately, a good mentor doesn't just fall out of the sky. It can be a process in itself to find someone who is like-minded and willing to help you, which means you'll need to put in some work. My advice is to go to study clubs to network in, connect with teachers in your CE courses, and talk to the people who have taken the course before you. You'd be surprised at how many of them are willing to share their stories. It was actually one of my mentors that gave me the best advice to improve my clinical work. He told me to start taking photos of my work and to post them on social media. There's a reason that you see people post pictures of their fitness journeys or drawing a picture a day for 100 days because that really works. My mentor gave me this advice because it worked for him, and now I'm giving this advice because it worked for me too. I've been posting my work on Instagram for 2 years now, and the difference I can see is massive. So here's the next point. Document your work. Honestly, this one applies to anyone trying to improve at anything. For clinical work, the first step is to start taking pictures of your cases. When you see your work under macro photography, you can begin to see where it can be improved, and you can start to make conscious efforts to do that. Then if you want to go a step further, post them on Instagram. Now, this can be a scary thought, but posting on Instagram for all the world to see, or at least people in your network to see, helps keep you accountable. You won't take shortcuts, and you'll put in extra effort to make sure your work is done well. This is important as is being able to get criticism from people other than yourself. We are not perfect clinicians, and we don't always catch everything, but someone else might be able to help. Instagram also becomes sort of a journal when you can do this, and you can look back on previous cases and see just how much you've improved. As I posted my work on Instagram, something else was happening in the background. People began to reach out to me and ask for help in their own clinical work. Yeah, me. Remember, I'm the one here struggling clinically. Slowly, my activity on Instagram became more than just documenting my work. It became more about sharing what I was learning, my struggles as a dentist, and my wins as they came. This process of creating content was just so rewarding for me because I remember what it was like to be in their situations, and it felt so good to be able to lend a hand from the other side. This leads me to my last point. Put yourself out there, step out of your comfort zones, and try new things. I put myself out on Instagram and both improved clinically and found a fulfillment in my career that wasn't there before. I mean, here I am making video content on YouTube. This honestly just takes so much time, and it's scary in itself. And I have to listen to myself talk. But if I've learned anything from my past experiences, I know it will be well worth it. If you made it this far in the video, thank you so much for your support. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. I hope you're able to learn something from this video and it helps you in your journey to becoming a better dentist. If you have any questions for me or just want to tell me your story, please feel free to leave me a comment below or send me a message on Instagram at my handle, Dr. Ashlifts. And if you're interested in more videos on how to do better dentistry, you can check out my latest video here. I'll see you next time.